Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the FOX pay-per-view recap from Saturday, or Sunday, September 5th, actually, or September 4th. Sunday, September 4th, and it was headlined by the Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz heavyweight clash, which was also a WBC eliminator. And now, we'll get into that main event in a minute, but we're going to discuss the undercard real quick. And we kick it off with undefeated lightweight prospect coming in, Jose Valenzuela, as he took on, I think the guy's name was Edwin De Los Santos. And, you know, a lot of people are all shocked that Valenzuela lost, but I'm really not. I mean, yes, it was an upset, but was it really that shocking? You go back and you look at De Los Santos, who, you look at his record, and I think he was like 13-14-1. He took the fight on short notice, but did you see his knockout ratio? I know the guy hadn't beaten anybody, but when a guy knocks out most of his opponents, you can make a strong case that the guy's got some pop, and you need to be careful in a fight like that. And Valenzuela went for broke, and he got caught, and then he still hurt the guy, and then he got knocked out. So, you know, shocking, yes. You know, there is a shock value to this upset, but it wasn't like, you know, I think Valenzuela got too much love for the Francisco Vargas victory, and I'm like, why? Yes, it was impressive that he knocked the guy out in the first round. Absolutely, not going to hate on that. Absolutely, that was an impressive win. But there's levels of impressive, you know? That's a very relative term. Why was it so impressive? Is Vargas a big-time fighter? No, he's a faded former champ that's best days were at 130 pounds, junior lightweight. The guy has not been, you know, a threat, a contender in a long time. Yes, that's nice to get a guy like that on your resume, and knocking him out in the first round is great, but is it really that mind-bending to where everybody's like, oh, this guy is that legit now? No, it isn't. So, you know, I like Valenzuela. He went in there, he tried to just absolutely destroy a guy who had some clear power, and he got knocked out. Big win for De Los Santos. I would love to see these two guys rematch, to leave no doubt, and all that. Maybe they will later on in the year if Valenzuela even wants that, but upset in the first fight. Then you have Miguel Flores versus Abner Mares. Mares returning after pretty much a 4-year layoff, and you know, the fight they fought to a draw. Now, I didn't see the fight. I did not watch the card. I went back and watched highlights. So I can't sit here and make a judgment on the fight. Both fighters thought they won the fight. For me, for Abner Mares, since this was his comeback party, if he's serious about returning to action, hey, as long as he didn't take an L, I think it should be, you know, he should be happy with a draw. The reason I say that is the guy he fought, you know, and Miguel Flores, he's a seasoned veteran. He's been around for a while. Yeah, he's not what he used to be, but, you know, to come back against a guy like that after 4 years and walk away with a draw, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, you know? So, are we gonna see Abner Mares again? I hope so. You know, if he's serious about fighting, I think we need more of a bar to see if he can contend at 130, you know, or not. But, you know, hey, Abner Mares is a good name. He's a former multi-division champion. Maybe fight Flores again to leave no doubt, you know. Maybe we need to see a rematch here as well. But, you know, not the worst thing that could happen for Abner Mares. But also, he's not going to get a what's next video, or Flores won't, for this. They're not top 10 guys. We know that right now, at least. And, you know, hey, whatever. The co-feature, Isaac Cruz taking on Eduardo Ramirez. Cruz records a brutal third-round knockout over Ramirez. Impressive, but shocking. Not really. I mean, I thought the fight would go a little longer, but I really am not surprised that Isaac Cruz, who's been a lightweight for a while, knocked out a guy who just a couple years ago came up from featherweight. This is a guy that, you know, about 2-3 years ago was competing as a featherweight at 126. He moves all the way up to 135 against a legitimate lightweight contender in maybe the deepest and best division in boxing. It's up there as one of the best divisions in boxing, and Cruz knocks him out in the third round impressively. I am impressed with that win. We'll discuss more on Isaac Cruz's what's next, because he definitely, you know, we'll get a what's next. But was it the most shocking thing I've ever seen? Absolutely not. I mean, it was, you know, I wasn't expecting that, you know, him to win by knockout that early, but I was expecting him to knock Ramirez out and to defeat him. So a nice win for Cruz. You know, hopefully it gets him a bigger fight going forward. Ramirez, tough loss. You know, hopefully he can return to 130 and you know, where he's more natural and contend there, because that's where he got his couple nice victories that he had in his last couple fights. So hopefully we can see him return to that weight class and do some damage there. We'll see. And then finally, the main event. We saw Andy Ruiz Jr., the former unified heavyweight champion, take on Luis Ortiz, the former 2-time world title challenger. I picked Ortiz to win the fight, but I'm not surprised at the outcome. Now, I read BoxingScene.com had Luis Ortiz winning this fight by 1 point, and you take away 3 points because of the knockdown, the knockdowns that Andy Ruiz recorded. You know, that gives Ortiz the 1 point victory. So essentially, the website I go through, BoxingScene.com, had it 8 rounds to 4. That seems to be the overall consensus, that Ortiz won majority of the rounds and should have, you know, won the fight. Now, he only outlanded Andy Ruiz by 2 punches. It was 78-76 total punches. Andy Ruiz walked away with a unanimous decision. Now, the scorecards were close. They were 114-111 on 2 of them. That means those 2 judges had him winning the fight had it a draw in terms of rounds. They had it 6 rounds to 6 in terms of rounds. The 3 points taken away are the difference, and Andy Ruiz wins on those 2 cards. The other judge had Ortiz winning the fight, I think 7 rounds to 5, but the 3 points give you know, Andy Ruiz the 1 point victory that he had. So unanimous decision. Now, is it a controversial decision? Was it a bullshit decision? The 3 knockdowns make the fight closer, as the fight should be. However, here's the thing that I saw in the stats. Now, I watched some of the fight. I saw that, you know, I saw some of the footage that was leaked of the fight. I was watching a little bit. And here's why I think this was a bullshit decision. Luis Ortiz threw about roughly 100 or so more punches. That, to me, says that Ortiz was busier. He was moving. He was working more. And then you looked at the total number of punches landed, 78-76. That's terrible, in my opinion, even for heavyweights. You know, but okay, whatever. You know, heavyweights don't throw as much. But it was the punches thrown that I looked at as who is controlling the tempo of the fight, who is working more. Luis Ortiz was working more than Andy Ruiz in this fight. And I think, based on what I'm reading, he should have walked away with the decision. But again, those 3 knockdowns made this fight closer. And I absolutely believe that if the fight was close, it would go to Andy Ruiz. He's the favorite. He's the bigger name. For some reason, he was a favorite. He was the bigger name coming in. And here's the prize. The prize is Deontay Wilder if he beats Robert Helenius, which most people feel he will, myself included. That's the prize here that the winner gets. And we've already seen Wilder Ortiz twice. Nobody wants to see Wilder and Ortiz a third time, especially Ortiz at his age now. But we've never seen Wilder and Andy Ruiz, who's a bigger name because of the win over Joshua, and it's an easily makeable fight. We've never seen that. People want to see that, you know, and they're most likely going to see that now. So in a close fight, basically Andy Ruiz being the bigger name was like the champion. You don't want to leave the fight close when you're the B-side guy. When you're the guy that needs to really go out and win this fight by knockout or by a wide decision. And Luis Ortiz did not do that. You know, I feel like if he would have set his punches up a little bit more, he probably could have landed those shots. But that's the thing. He's an older fighter now. He gets caught. And Andy Ruiz, the one thing that he has on the inside is quick hands. So he got caught. There was 2 legitimate knockdowns. I saw him where he hurt Luis Ortiz. And then there was the one that was kind of the slip. That slip didn't matter. The 2 knockdowns were the difference in the fight. And, you know, Luis Ortiz comes up, comes up short. He's not really complaining too much. He's still in my top 10 because I feel like he should have won the fight. But I'm not going to sit here and complain about a fight that was, because of knockdowns, close. And in a way, it was better that Andy Ruiz got the nod, because now we get to see a nice, attractive matchup between Wilder and Andy Ruiz. We get to see a bigger matchup. So that's good for boxing right there. Andy Ruiz brings in a big Mexican fan base, and Deontay Wilder is a, you know, lights out heavyweight puncher. And we get to see that fun matchup most likely take place in the first half of next year, as the winner waits around for potentially, you know, a title shot over the last man standing of, you know, or just the winner is in line to fight, you know, to become the top dog at heavyweight, you know. So we just got to wait and see. But, you know, a big fight is on the horizon now. We will discuss all this, though, in a What's Next video for both Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz next week. But that's the recap from the Ruiz versus Ortiz Fox pay-per-view recap from Sunday, September 4th, that saw Andy Ruiz defeat Ortiz by a close, controversial, unanimous decision. Isaac Cruz stops Eduardo Ramirez in the 3rd round. Miguel Flores and Abner Mares battle to a majority draw. And then Jose Valenzuela gets upset by Edwin De Los Santos by a knockout in the 3rd round. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.